seeing two beautiful, big, plus-size goddesses ready for battle like it's Mortal Kombat. Literally a tear came to my eye because I was just like, wow, we are some bad, big on your screen. It was just so beautiful.
So, Eureka, you are in arguably one of the strongest top fours we have ever seen. How did it feel to be among these iconic queens and be there yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, I love that people are now saying that it's one of the strongest top fours they've ever seen, because I think the beginning of the season, the fans and people were doubting this cast, and we have showed out, and we showed up. And that's why we did Showed Up Queen, honey. You know what I'm saying? We all showed up this season, and I'm just so proud to be a part of this cast, to be a part of the top four. Like, it's honestly so nice to be able to work with people that want it just as bad as you do every day. There's a lot of passion, a lot of love, but with that comes sisterhood, because we all desperately need it and want it, but we also want it for each other. So it's like, today's going to be bittersweet, but at the end of the day, it's always going to be sweet.
You guys seemed like such good, supportive sisters on it too. And I'm hearing that it really was the case.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the thing is we came in during a pandemic. You know, it was shown on season 13, but we came in and filmed right after that. And all we had was each other, you know, and we're professional drag queens. The difference between a new cast and an all-stars cast is this is what we do for a living now. We've had this experience. So we were in the middle of a pandemic without our jobs. And then to be required to come up with all of these things and get creative was hard and challenging, but at the same time, also therapeutic and needed, because we needed a space to do our art again. We were stranded at home without a place to do it. And I think that's why we flourished so much in this season, because the were ready to play. You know, we needed a reason to twirl around and look good in the living room. Instead, we was on RuPaul's Drag Race, you know?
Your finale dress was insanely gorgeous. Tell me about what into that purple drop waist, gorgeous, dripping jewels number.
Yes, Mama. I mean, I just wanted to be the only showgirl of the world. I was very inspired by my mother with the color purple and the purple heart on the headdress. But I was also very inspired by Bob Mackie and showgirls, and there's never been like a plus size showgirl image, but I always loved these images of Las Vegas showgirls. And I was like, well, I'm gonna be the biggest showgirl you ever saw. And I was lucky to have, like, we talk about sisterhood, but it's those little things that you overthink in the back where you're like, do I put a wig on the back of this headpiece? Do I put glitter on your lid? And my sister Sonique was the one that was like there, and Raja and Ginger, all of us like pushing each other to like add little things to ourselves to make ourselves elevate even more. So it's just such a celebration to be here.
Oh, that wig in the back was such an unexpected surprise. You were gorgeous.
Ooh, yeah.
How long did that dress, take to create?
Honestly, I was working on that dress for a couple months before I even said yes to All Stars, because I was like, I had a weird feeling. I'm really big about my heart and the energy in the universe. And I was like, you know what? We're in a pandemic. If they call me, I'm going to do All Stars. I already knew it in my spirit. And I was just so lucky to get the call. So that gown was something I had been working on for several months, to be honest, in honor of my mom. And I was going to do a photo shoot in it. But when I got this call, it was like, this is perfect. Like, what better moment than to save it for this? And I'm so lucky that I got to wear it. And RIP Trinity, and I love my sis, but thank you so much for this placement to be able to share my fashion and my art. And we miss you and we love you in the top four, and we wish you the best.
It was so lovely to see your and Trinity's, love and affection for each other. It was just so lovely and pure. How important was that relationship for you on the show?
Honestly, the relationships on the show are important for all of us to cultivate and to have people just to lean on, and to have friendships, and to have people that we can trust in a competition where really you can't trust anyone but yourself. Because at the end of the day, we are all competing. But with drag, luckily, we have so much heart, and everyone's been through so much that it's impossible for us not to help each other out. As much as we want to be those catty, shady queens that everyone wants to paint us to be, at the end of the day, our heart and our coexisting traumas just create bonds between us. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it was about.
And your lip sync, Kelly Clarkson tribute to your mother, was the most emotional lip sync I think we've seen on the show. Tell me a little bit about your mindset during that.
I mean, Kelly Clarkson, for me, it was just like going out for that lip sync. It was like a part of me wanted to, excuse me. I am garbage. Honey, bossy, messy, gassy, shady. You know, honestly, T is like going out for the lip sync when it came to Since You've Been Gone. I almost wanted to give up. There was a part of me that was like, I grabbed my mom's life alert. I was talking to God. I was talking to my mom. And I was like, if it's my opportunity to stay, then let me win this lip sync, guide me through it. If not, then let the other person win. So when I say I was performing this song for my mom, that's really what it became. And I didn't even realize until I was out there performing it, that the words really, truly meant how I felt. Like, since she's been gone, I can't breathe for the first time. You know, I get emotional talking about it because that was my whole world, was my mother. And that's what I lived for. And now in my life, I'm learning to live for myself instead of someone else, which is really hard. But it's still a guided light towards her, right? But it taught me a huge lesson that I have to live for me, not for my mother, not for the fans, not for other people, but for David, the non-binary human being underneath the facade of Eureka. And that was also emotionally attached to that too.
And, you know, Drag Race fans are fans of your mother. Is it so nice that she got to be at the finale and that people, you know, remember her and love her with you?
Yeah. My mama is so funny because she was always a diva. She always knew she was a star. She knew she had bred a star. She was so proud of me. She was my biggest fan. And I was just at Mickey's the other night, and Morgan McMichaels was literally talking about when she met my mama on the pink carpet of the season 10 finale. And they were like, "Oh, are you Eureka's mom?" And my mom was like, "Yes, I am Eureka's mother." You know what I mean? She was very on the carpet, ready for the kids. So she knew in that moment, she was so proud of me. And like, that's what I get to hold in my heart and hold, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she was sick and dying really at the time, but she didn't care. You know, she should have been in her wheelchair. She had a trach. She didn't give a fuck. She was like, "Mom, I'm gonna wear my Chanel and I'm gonna walk this carpet and have my moment and be glamorous." So that's where I get it from. She's an amazing Amazon. That's why I push this whole, like, baby, I'm an amazing Amazon girl. Wonder Woman ain't got on Eureka Stacy. Okay. The original Eureka, which is my mama.
It's so great that the fans got to really see her and be a part of that. So when you talk about her, we can really feel that spirit and know her as a woman.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fans love my mom more than they do me. They're like, "We want the OG Eureka girl. Can't you switch out?" If only I could.
And how is this Eureka different than the Eureka from that night at the finale, season 10? What has changed for you as an artist, a performer, as a person?
Oh, girl. The changes, honey, the changes. I mean, I am an entirely different spirit. I'm not a different person. I'm a different spirit. The person that I was season 10 was anxious and angry and sad and hurt and afraid because of like, what was I going to do with my life if I didn't have my mom? And how was I going to take care of my family? And how was I going to truly believe that I deserve this fame? You know, because my self-love was diminished to very little because of what I let society or other people get into my head and make me believe. And now I stand here before you, like really just knowing who I am. So I'm a new spirit. I'm spirited about myself and my friends. And I have real relationships and connections with my sisters because I'm just honest and open and unafraid, you know, and I pushed past some of those barriers that I built myself. So I'm very proud of that. That's the Eureka you see before you. The David, the non-binary, the all the above, the mermaid queen, the nails, the hair, the bossy, gassy, moody, sexy. Yeah.
Yes. You are really radiating from the inside out. It is so beautiful to see.
Thank you.
What was your most amazing moment on the season? And what was a moment that was really hard for you to get to struggle through for All-Star 6?
Yeah, the most amazing moment for me was... that's a good one. You know, honestly, the moment that sticks out the most to me as far as like the real most amazing moment was probably watching the season. It wasn't even during filming. It was watching me and Silky on the big screen when they had us turning and seeing two beautiful, big, plus-size goddesses ready for battle like it's Mortal Kombat. Literally a tear came to my eye because I was just like, wow, we are some bad, big on your screen. It was just so beautiful for me as a plus-size individual and what I stand for. So that was my favorite moment, probably was watching that moment. My least favorite moment was probably getting eliminated. I'm sure that's usual, but it was, it was just disheartening because it was like, I kind of gave up on myself and it wasn't fair of me to be like, you know what, I should go home because you all have done better. And I was making every excuse in the world because I was tired and I was exhausted and I was, kind of giving up on myself, and I never want to do that again. So that's probably the moment that was the worst for me. And really, there were things that you all didn't even see as far as like how much I had given up on myself. They were very kind to me in the way they displayed me in that moment. I really had given up on myself. And I know now, and after that lip sync with Silky and stuff, that I'll never give up on myself ever again.
And what artistic tools did you learn this season? You guys got into a lot of different challenges and you came with a big bag of skills, but what did you learn throughout the season?
Yeah, girl, I learned throughout this season that I can mind my own business sometimes. You know what I mean? I can leave people alone as hard as it is for me. And my love is seen by people without me having to prove it, right? I think people see you without you having to prove it. That's something that I learned. And it was nice because I went into this season just wanting to be full of integrity and just be honest and be myself. And people saw that and people are seeing the new side of Eureka. That's the whole reason I came back to All Stars. So I'm just very blessed. At the end of the day, if I walk out of here with a crown on, or at least with the heart on my sleeve and the world getting to see me for who I really am, then I have won. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a winner already.
Yes, it's the same Eureka, but better and happier inside.
Yeah, it's like Eureka 2.0. Yeah. Eureka ready to take over the world kind of Eureka, okay?
I sure hope so. And how was it for you? You want to be in the finale, you are here, but how was it sending Silky home after she is the ultimate lip sync assassin?
It was so sad sending Silky home, to be honest. I hated it. I cried with her. I held her. And of course, Silky's a strong, so she's like, girl, don't you cry for me? Don't you feel sorry for me? And I'm like, you're right. I know, but I still feel bad because I love you. I saw her struggle her season. It was definitely tough. But you know what? There's one thing about Silky. That is a boss that's going to always keep slaying. Big girl or not, she's talented and she knows what she's doing and the world got to see it.
Can't anybody tell her nothing, which is good.
Nothing. NOTHING.
Nothing. And what is next for Eureka? What parts of the world are you going to take over that you have not yet? Tell us about the gigs.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, honestly, what's next for Eureka? I am hopefully going to be coming out with my book next year. I'm really excited about working on that. We're Here season 2 on HBO. Should be premiering in October. I'm hoping that I can continue working towards the big screen. I really want to do an adaptation on Divine's life. And Glenn Milstead, hopefully for the big screen. At some point, that's my passion project. I want people to feel the heart and the love and the earnest that comes from the cultivation and the culture of that story within John Waters. That's not just about eating shit. It's about the heart and the necessity of that era and what it took to survive it, right? So that's my biggest dream. Otherwise, just catch me anywhere, girl. They got a buffet, honey, or a hot boy with thick cakes with a little bit of fur on it. You can catch me right there. Or at Eureka O'Hara on all social media platforms.
And was your love for Divine something that was super strong before this season? Because we saw a lot of Divine this season, a lot of energy. Is that sort of new or deep-rooted in who Eureka is?
It's deep-rooted. Ever since I started drag, Divine has been a part of it. I was called like, oh my God, you look so much like Divine ever since I was first in drag. Just big and loud and big makeup and glamour and crass and over the top. And I watched her and I got to know her and I watched Glenn and I got to know him and I watched interviews and I just understand that person. I've lived that life. I've lived the life of just wanting to be accepted, but drag is the only fame that I have found. But I know that there's so much more talent within myself as a person, whether it's, you know, who I am as Dave or who I am as Erika, whatever. So I don't know. I guess I just feel so related to the divine story, but also the necessity of just needing to be accepted in a world where you can't be accepted. So you decide to say, "F it all, kill, kill, kill. Who wants to die for art?"
And seeing this top four was so gorgeous. A trans woman, non-binary, people of color, plus size. How did that feel in that moment that it was such a diverse, amazing top four?
What's the most diverse top four we've ever had. It's the most weight on the top four we've ever had. You know, having two big girls in the top four was important. Having a beautiful, you know, trans woman who's open, having a strong Black man who's now, you know, obviously a drag queen, be on the show, like, that are just beautiful people with huge hearts, and they come from so much hurt and they've blossomed into so much beauty. Like, bitch, this is what America's built on. So what a blessing to be a part of this top four.
It is beautiful. Eureka, thank you so much for your work and your honesty and transformation. It was so amazing to watch. You're incredible. And I hope you get to take over the world in every way you want.
Mama, I got the spaceship out back, girl. Come join me.
Yes. Coded in sequence. Can't wait. Thank
Love
you, Eureka. Love you. Good luck.
Thank you, baby.